I'd like to tell you about one really big factor in the current success that we're experiencing in Indiana, and that is Mark Hill. I'm honored to step into this role following Mark, our prior and long-standing chairman. Mark, before we have you come up, I'd like to have Will Davis, a friend and community leader, come up and who would like to say a few words about your commitment to the organization and the impact you've made in our community. Thank you, Will.
Thank you. Well, thank you, Kelly. And thanks to all of you who are here tonight to celebrate Indiana's tech community via these Mira Awards. You know, it really may not be obvious to everybody, but this truly is a milestone year for TechPoint. It's not a milestone year because we have a record-breaking crowd. It's not a milestone year because we have a record-breaking number of nominees, or even because we have just an outstanding lineup of Mira Award winners that we're going to announce in a few minutes. All of those things are true, but that's really not the biggest of the milestones. As Kelly just said, for the first time in a very long time, Mark Hill is no longer going to be our chairman going forward. So it's, Mark gave himself a standing ovation on that. So it's my privilege tonight to share some observations on our friend Mark as we attempt to say thank you to him in an appropriate way. Based on our personal shared history within the tech sector and within TechPoint specifically, here's how I'd like to direct our thoughts. I'm not going to spend any time at all recounting Mark's incredible resume of accomplishments. You know he's a serial entrepreneur. He serves on numerous boards, both for-profit and not-for-profit. He's an angel investor par excellence. So in the interest of time, I'm just assuming you know all about Baker Hill and Blue Lock and Interactive Intelligence and Car Auction Services, Apparatus, Tinderbox, Teacher America, Central Indiana Community Foundation, and a host of other organizations Mark has impacted over the years. If you probably also know, and so I don't need to spend any time on this either, that Mark is a very proud Notre Dame alum, and as well as a Kelley School of Business alum, by the way. And he gives back at IU by serving as an adjunct professor in the School of Informatics. So you can see, as I described just those few things, why we really don't have time to talk about those. And besides that, we'd embarrass Mark to the point he might never forgive me. So we're going to move on. However, the truth is, all of us have directly benefited from Mark's leadership in this organization we call TechPoint, which he has served as chair for over 6 years. How'd that happen? Many of us are still wondering that. No. Actually, Mark and I were founding directors of the organization that became TechPoint when we merged INITA, the Indiana Information Technology Association, and the Indiana Technology Partnership together many years ago. Believe it or not, Mark was not the original chairman. However, give him only a couple of years, and he agreed to assume the role of leadership. And through his leadership, we've experienced unprecedented growth, notoriety, and added credibility to our entire organization, and an organization I know that all of us are proud to be associated with. We've enjoyed a stability of leadership and yet a dynamism of organization that I think is pretty rare to observe. So the question is, how'd Mark do that? How does he do it? Why is he so special? And the question for me sometimes is, if I could be just like Mark, what would I have to do? So there are 3 things I want to share with us tonight. Here they are. First, to be like Mark, well, first you need to marry Karen. I actually met Mark and Karen when they were still doing business life and life together at Baker Hill. I know Mark agrees with me that Karen is and has been an incredible partner. Karen, thank you for being here tonight again. They are blessed with 3 beautiful daughters, so you now know another thing you need to learn to be able to do if you're going to be as effective as Mark as a leader. You need to learn how to live in a house with 4 women, 3 of whom were teenagers at the same time. Not bad, buddy. Another thing we can learn from Mark, the second thing I would lift up for us, to learn from his example, we need to be personally grounded. The authenticity and personal integrity of this person who's lived such a well-lived life is, to me, his single most impressive characteristic. It evidences itself in the causes in which he chooses to become involved, like the Orr Fellowship, like Teach for America, even TechPoint, where his passionate but thoughtful leadership finds him investing in developing the kind of leadership that we all hope, indeed pray, will step forward in the next generation. Mark is a principled person, and he simply develops principles in other people as well. His service fulfills his inner value system. The third thing I'd lift up for us, and this one may surprise you given his financial success in so many of his enterprises, we can learn from Mark to be passionately committed to other people's success. Now, make no mistake, Mark is laser focused on what an organization needs to do to be successful and to achieve growth. But his achievements have been done by growing the individuals within his organization, helping every individual to develop their own gifts, talents, and abilities to their fullest potential. As only one example, I'd hope you get to know or meet some of our Orr Fellows, either the current ones or the graduates. If you know Mike Langelier, you know one. And every one of them would uniformly testify to the incredible impact that Mark has had on them as a result of just that program. And I know, personally, I'm just a better person for having the privilege of walking alongside Mark and Karen, too. So, Mark, tonight, on behalf of the board of members of TechPoint, on behalf of all of us in this room, all of us who've benefited directly or indirectly from TechPoint over the last decade, and on behalf of our entire state, we say thank you for your tireless service. We say thank you for your exemplary service. And we say thank you for your gracious service for these past 7 years as our chairman. We look forward to your continued association with us, and I'd like to ask you to complete this embarrassment by walking forward and let me share a little token of our appreciation with you. Mark Hill. Mark truly has no idea that we were doing this tonight. So on the spur of the moment, Mark, have you got a word or two you'd like to say to the community? Your choice.
I sat with Will and had a little dinner, and he gave me nothing. He gave me no. So I'm thinking, well, the great thing about tonight is I don't have to speak, so I can have a couple of cocktails. I might be better that way anyway. Will, thank you so much. I'm humbled by that. I was blessed to have Will as my mentor. And, you know, the great thing about having people in front of you is they teach you things, and it helps you pass some of those great things along. Will was on Karen and my board of directors, and was great. Mike was our first Orr Fellow, and I still can't believe we hired you. I mean, nobody else wanted him, so we ended up taking him on. And then when Kelly, I shouldn't have been chair for quite so long. I was really trying to find somebody else to do the job. I was trying to get Kelly to do it for the last couple of years. He said to me, Mark, I'm really happy to do this. I just don't want to have to get up and speak in front of a big crowd. I said, no problem, Kelly. You don't have to worry about that. No problem. So I'll just leave you with one thought for me personally, which is, you know, what I've just found about working with others, and particularly this awesome technology community, is that the more I give, the more I get back. And it's really been a great run, and I'm not going anywhere. I enjoy the community, and Karen, thanks for putting up with me. I do appreciate that, and thanks to all of you, and keep getting these businesses going and calling me about investing. I'm happy to do that. I like to do that. A lot of you have done really well for me there, so that's good, you know? So, so thanks to all of you, and good luck to everybody tonight. Thank you.
Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you, Will, and thank you, Mark.